Our topic for discussion tonight is based on spirits and how they operate. Spirits and how they operate. When we talk about spirits, we are talking about the dead. That's what we are going to talk about. You know, I've always heard this. People say that when someone dies, you are dead and gone. You can't do anything anymore. You don't exist. Nothing of such. Some people will tell you that there is nothing like spirits, that spirits do not exist. But I am going to prove to you that spirits exist. If you cannot see them, somebody else can. If you cannot interact with them, somebody else can. So our gifts differ. Majority of us are gifted spiritually, but our gifts differ. Your spiritual gift is totally different from mine. Mine is totally different from yours. So tonight I'm going to be talking to us about spirits, the people that we were living before, the people that were living with us before, those who have passed away, how they operate. How they operate, where they are. Where they are. Is there anything like spirit world? Does it exist? Does spirit world exist? Majority will tell you that spirit world doesn't exist. There is nothing like spirits. When somebody dies, you are dead and gone. That is what a lot of people will tell you. And some people will tell you that the spirits you are seeing are evil spirits. Not all of them are evil spirits. So many of the spirits that we encounter are actually there to solve an unfinished problem, an unfinished assignment, to make sure that such problem is solved, that such case is handled properly. And then there are those ones that are evil. The evil spirits, those that are bent on harming humans, on destroying humans, and everything that has to do with us. Now, is there anything like spirit world? You know, according to the Bible says that it is appointed unto man to die, and after death, judgment. That is what the Bible says. And Bible, if you will agree with me, is written by man. After death comes judgment. Bible is written by man. Now, when is that judgment coming? Is it coming immediately? Or is it coming much later? For us, the living, we cannot tell. So what I'm going to teach us tonight is based on my experience, my own personal experience with the spirits. This is part of my spiritual gift that I cannot run away from. Yes, I know I have tried everything humanly possible to make this gift go away from me, but as days goes by, it gets more clearer and clearer, and you know, it's not something I can run away from. Now, from my own personal experience with the spirits, hearing from them, there is something like spirit world. Yes, I do hear them. I interact with them. There is something like spirit world. And as a matter of fact, I got to know about this spirit world when I was in my secondary school age, when I was still a teenager, when I was still a small girl. Then I never realized that I have any spiritual gift at all. But that was when I started noticing from my personal experience that there is something called a spirit world. But we are raised as Christians, and we are made to believe that there is nothing like that. And with those experiences I had then as a teenager, I concealed everything. It is not something that I can talk to my people. I can't tell my parents. I can't tell my siblings because it sounds somehow. When you tell them that our dead loved ones, yes, they are dead, they are no longer with us here on earth, but that they are somewhere else that no other person sees, no human being sees, except when God decides to open your eyes. Except on that. And that was when I had that encounter. That was when I knew that when people die, there is somewhere else that I cannot tell. Somewhere else that they stay, probably waiting for judgment. That is how I put it. And so I've come to believe that that place that they are staying is the spirit world. And in the spirit world, this is what I call it, there is nothing like level. There is nothing. If you are a big man here on earth, or a big lady, or you're rich, a wealthy person, and then you die, when you get to that place, your position here on earth doesn't matter. It makes no meaning. There is nothing like doctor. There is nothing like engineer. There is nothing like barrister. No. If you are a rich man here and you pass away, there you are just like any other person. There is nothing like this person is greater than me, or I am lower than this person. No. From my own personal experience, it is just like a village setting. That's what it is. From what I saw and what I have been seeing, it is just like a village setting. But everybody or every being in that place knows each other. When someone new is coming in, they are all aware, they all know. That is how that place is. From what I saw as a teenager, because I didn't see it once, I didn't see it twice, I kept on seeing such. I never knew that that was where my gift was channeled. I never knew that I would later start having encounter with them, as years goes by. But from what I saw as a teenager that time, and from what I am still seeing now, in that village setting, that is how I will put it, you have mothers of different ages, you have fathers of different ages, you have the youths, you have the children. That is how it is. Everybody knows everybody. It is not like in our world where you cannot really tell who your neighbor is. You don't even know your neighbor, you don't know your neighbor's name. There, everybody knows each other. And when someone new is coming in, they are all aware that someone new is coming in. And I'm going to tell you, because there are times when people will give testimonies about them crossing over, and then their dead loved ones will, ask them to go back. And when they give such testimonies, people will doubt it. And I'm here to tell you that such testimonies are not lies. It is only the person who has gone there that can tell you what is actually happening there. Yes, as a teenager, I saw it. Even now as an adult, I am still seeing it. I remember vividly when I went there, I was seriously sick. Seriously sick. While sleeping in the afternoon. Probably I passed away without knowing it. Nobody knew. And then I found myself there. And I saw my grandparents. I saw a lot of people that I knew that has passed away. I saw so many of them. And they didn't want to welcome me. None of them welcomed me. It was my grandmother that came out and asked me what I came for. I told her that I am too tired, that I decided to come to rest. She chased me back. She told me that it is not yet my time to come there, that I'm not supposed to come there, that I should go back home and help my mom. So when I tried to be stubborn, because I was looking for somewhere to just sit down, lie down and rest, she decided. So me running out from that environment was when I woke up. And when I woke up, I saw my mother sitting beside me praying. So when I woke up, my mom told me, "Welcome back." That was what my mom said. "Welcome back." And I asked her what happened. She said that she noticed that I stopped breathing. She doesn't want to shout. She didn't want to alert anybody. She started praying. While she was praying, that was maybe when her mother, who was my grandmother, started chasing me and I came back to life. So I'm here to tell you that there is something called spirit world. Yes, the Bible told us that when man dies, the judgment follows. But the Bible wasn't specific if that judgment will come immediately. But I myself, I have come to believe that those people there are actually there for judgment. They are there, probably waiting for judgment. There is something called the spirit world, and they operate just like we do. They operate just like we do here on earth. And most of the times, because I have come across a lot of text messages from people, emails, so many ways of reaching me, people telling me that they want to reach out to their dead loved ones. And I'm still saying it. If you have anybody in your family who has passed away or your friend, you do not have to find a way to reach out to them. You don't do that. When someone dies, allow the person to rest. Yes, allow the dead to rest. Don't try to reach out to that person. Even if there is anything going on, something wrong that needs to be corrected, and probably the dead was the only person who has information concerning that thing that needs to be solved. You, the living, you are not supposed to reach out to them. They see more than we do. They hear more than we do. When that problem arises, that your person, wherever that person is, or wherever the being is, will know that there is a problem. They are the ones that will reach out to you, the living. You don't have to reach out to them. One problem a lot of people are having is it is easy to reach out the dead. Yes, reaching out to the dead is so easy, very easy. But after everything, can you take them back? That is the problem. Can you take them back? Bringing them up into the world to help you solve a problem is as easy as ABCD. Can you take them back? That is where the problem lies. And if you do not take them back, that is when you start having problems. So when people die, from my own perspective, from what I have seen so far, as long as maybe you haven't been judged, you are somewhere else, still existing. You are somewhere else, still operating. And most of the time, that is when you hear stories of someone who died, a young guy that died, and he died as a young guy. And before you know it, people will tell you that they saw him in another place, in another country, married with children, and such stories sound so stupid. When you hear such stories, they sound so stupid. And majority will not believe it, because one problem with us humans is that we are too quick to judge, but too lazy to investigate, too lazy to ask questions. What you do not know is way bigger. When you get such information, if you really want to know everything, how it happens, you ask questions. Ask questions. All these things that we see, we didn't just start seeing them. We didn't form it on our own. Nobody wishes to be seeing spirits. Nobody wishes to be communicating with spirits. But then, when you start growing up, you notice that that's your natural gift. That gift that God has given you has enabled you to see spirits and to communicate with them. And because a lot of people do not see them, they don't communicate with them, they think that all these things are just cock and bull stories. They are not. Do spirits exist? Yes, they do. Do they communicate with the living? Yes, they do, but not with everybody. when they are in need of help, even if you are the family member and they love you so much, but they are no longer alive, they will not come to you. No matter the love they had for you when they were alive, they will not come to you. They will seek for that person who is gifted to see them, to hear them, that person who is gifted to communicate with them. They will seek for that person. And then they will pass whatever message they have through that person to the family. It's just like of recent, as at last week that I'm just talking to us now. This thing just happened last week. A family member that passed away a long time ago, like 20 years ago, came to me for help. Actually, the first time I saw this man was 2 years ago. He came to me for help, telling me about him not being happy, seeing what the wife and the children are passing through, that they are suffering. And for real, the wife and the children are passing through hell in the hands of his own family members. His brothers and his sisters were not treating the wife and the children well. And so this man appeared to me, seeking for help, told me that he wants to solve that problem, that he wants to handle that case so that the wife and the children will have peace. And so I asked him, how am I going to help you? He requested for certain items and asked me to help him get those items. He needed those items for him to do whatever he wants to do to solve the problem. And I helped him. Yes, I helped him because he was a family member. I helped him get those items. And that was all. And then 2 months after that encounter with him, one of his brothers, the main person who was the originator of the whole problem upon his family, the main guy who was bent on deleting every member of his family, 2 months after, the man went down. That man went down 2 months after my encounter with the man. And now, the same man appeared last week and still told me that he's not yet done, that his wife and his children are still suffering, that they sold his land, that his brothers sold his land, removing his son from the list. The land belongs to his son. The brothers decided to sell the land. They didn't include the son. They didn't consult him. They didn't give him any money at all. It was after selling the land and sharing the money that they called the son and told him of that. And the man told me all these things. And he told me that the person, that's his brother, who was the originator of selling that land, that he is going to take him down. And so what I did was to call that family. I called them and I told them, see, this is what your father said. I don't know if something like that happened. And the wife told me that that was exactly what has been going on. That they received a telephone call from the brothers telling them that they have decided to sell their brother's land without consulting the man's son. They sold the land. They shared the money amongst themselves. And they told the son that if he is interested, he can come over and take some portion of the money. And the son refused, told them that the land belongs to him, but that since they have decided to sell it, so be it. And that was how I got to know that the information the man gave me is true. This just happened last week. And he told me that he's going to take the brother, the one that sold the Lord, that he's going to take him down. And tomorrow, somebody will come to tell me that spirits do not exist. Somebody will tell me that they don't do anything, they don't act, they can't do whatsoever. If you are not gifted to see them, you will never, ever see them. If you are not gifted to see them, they don't appear to anybody anyhow. They appear to only those who have that gift to see them. The reason is because they actually want you to help them. Yes, when someone dies, they don't act the way we act. They don't have flesh. It is this our flesh that helps us to carry out whatever we want to carry out. But when someone dies, you don't have flesh anymore. And so there are things that you cannot do. For you to do certain things, you will need the help of a human being. And if the human doesn't help you, you cannot achieve that. And that is how spirits operate. Yes, I know we have the demons, the evil ones. And these evil spirits is not just an entity, something like that. No. Evil spirits are actually humans that passed away, but mainly those who are too wicked while they are here on earth. Mainly those who are violent, too wicked, those who hate humanity with everything in them. When such people passes away, if you happen to meet their spirit, you are actually meeting an evil spirit because they will not spare you. They will want to attack you. They will want to continue from where they stopped. They will want to continue carrying out that their wicked act. And such spirits are evil spirits. You don't negotiate with them at all. No matter what you don't negotiate, you don't talk with them, you don't say anything. All you need to do is to fight back. When you come in contact with such spirits, you fight back, you fight them. Return them back to wherever they are coming from. It is not a physical fight, but a spiritual fight. And this fight involves prayer. You must be spiritually powerful enough to fight them because such demons are powerful. But it is only your prayer that can weaken them. It is your prayer that will make them not to act. So when people die, depending on their lifestyle here on earth, when they die, from what I have seen so far, there is somewhere else that they are staying. To me, they are there waiting for their judgment day. According to what I have seen so far, according to what I have observed so far, according to what they have actually told me. Yes. If you doubt what I'm telling you, I believe there are so many people who are gifted spiritually to see gifts. We have a lot of them on this platform. You can enter into their pages. You can ask them questions. If you are gifted to see, what you see is what somebody else can see. Somebody else who is equally gifted. So do we have spirits? Yes, we have. We have them everywhere. They are just like your normal human being. Wherever you go, you will see your fellow human being. But in this particular case, you cannot see them, except those who are gifted to see them. And they communicate with those who are gifted, and more especially when they seek for help. So for those who are doubting if spirits exist or not, I'm not trying to make you believe what I'm saying, no, but I'm telling you from my experience, I'm telling you that they do exist. A lot of people, when their family members pass away, you see them in your dreams. Yes, you see them in your dreams trying to tell you one thing or the other. And I want to tell us, you see spirits do not speak the way we speak. The way I'm talking to you people now, flowing, that is no longer the way they talk. No. If they want to, they don't make like a long statement, a sentence. They don't make a complete sentence. If they want to tell you something about a fire burning a house, let's assume that John is inside a house and the house is going to be set ablaze. They're not going to tell you the way I'm telling you now, that you should tell John to leave the house. No. Most of the times they cut their statements, maybe because they do not have flesh anymore. I can't really tell. But if they want to tell you something about that John, they will call the name John. They will tell you house. They will tell you fire. If you are gifted, you will put these three words together and you will get the meaning. That is how they talk. They don't make sentences like us. They don't communicate the way we do. You keep on talking. You keep on, saying something for a very long time. No, that is no longer the way they do. Their sentences are always short. Very, very short. If the house is going to be set ablaze and John is going to be inside the house, When they come to you, they will tell you, John, house, fire, or they can tell you, fire, house, John. You already know what it is if you are gifted. And that is why they only appear to those who are gifted, because no matter what they say, you are going to know exactly what they mean, because the gift is already in you. However, they put that sentence, you already know. You have that gift to interpret what they are trying to say. I don't know how else to to explain these things to you, but let me use myself as an example. When a deceased loved one, family member, friend, whatsoever approaches me to tell me about maybe what he or she it wants to do or what the family is passing through, and just like they don't make that long sentence, let me use this John fire as an example, and the person decides to tell me John fire house, while that being is saying that, while the being is saying John, fire, house, that my inner spirit is already telling me what the being is trying to say. That's how it works. They don't make complete sentence. Their sentences are always short. So we have spirits. They are all around us. They are everywhere, just like we are everywhere. But if you do not have the gift to see them, you cannot see them and you will not hear them. Most of the times, what people normally see, more especially those living in a haunted house, if you are living in a haunted house, what you are seeing is an evil spirit. That is what you are seeing. Haunted houses are the souls of the people that their lives were taken so early. More especially people that die as a result of ritual from another person. Their souls can never rest because it wasn't their time. So when you happen to find yourself in such houses, the souls of these people that was taken away so early will haunt you. They will disturb you so well. If you have ever lived in a haunted house, you will attest to what I'm saying now. If you have ever lived in a haunted house, even if you do not see them, you are going to see their actions, because their action is what will make you to vacate that house. If you have the gift to see, you will see them. If you do not have the gift to see, you are going to see their actions, what they are doing in your house. A lot of them they love like destroying things for people. You can come into your house and you notice that all the electricals have burnt, everything. Or you go into a business and the business flops. From one problem to another. That is why I always advise people, when you keep on experiencing one problem to another every now and then, your problem is so much. I always advise people, first of all, check your environment. Check your environment, the house you are living in. Except the house is yours. If the house is not yours, ask questions. Most of the times, all these people who are involved in one ritual or another will perform a lot of rituals that you can't really tell how they performed it, and then they will raise up a structure and rent it out and people will live in it. And before you know it, the house will become haunted and you keep on seeing strange things. You keep on hearing strange noises. These are the evil spirits operating in that house or in that vicinity or in that environment. So whether they are evil spirits or they are good spirits, the bottom line is that spirits do exist. And there are certain things that people will be passing through in life. It's just like the family of this man that I just told us now. Somebody has already passed away. The man passed away. Now, one of his brothers has passed away. If the one that he's talking about passes away now, people will keep on wondering what is going on. The next thing you know, people will start saying it is somebody that is against them. Somebody is after them without knowing that they are the originators of what they are passing through. Yes, that is why you have to be very careful in dealing with people, because you do not know the spirit behind that person. You do not know. Some of us who are parents are no more. Yes, there are those who have their spirits are so, what I call it is that their spirits are so cold. Their spirits cannot act. They cannot do anything. But there are those whose spirits are just like wildfire. Such spirits runs in my lineage. The spirits that will not spare anybody when you try to tamper the life of any member of the family. That is the type of spirit that exists in my lineage, in my family lineage. As I talk to you, because I know that a lot of people will doubt this, but whether you doubt it or not, no problem. But I am still seeing my grandparents, especially my grandfather. I do not know this man. When this man passed away, he passed away 8 years before I was born. He passed away 8 years before I was born. But he was actually the first being to open my eyes to let me know that I have a spiritual gift. He was actually the first being because he came to me, introduced himself, mentioned his name. He mentioned the name that I didn't know him with because I was hearing a particular name that everybody calls him, but he mentioned another name that I haven't heard before. And he told me to ask. And so when I called my brother, I told my brother, see, I saw a man like this, and putting on something like this, putting on a bag this way. And he mentioned this name. He said that he's my grandfather. And my brother shouted and told me that for real, the man I mentioned, the description I gave was my grandfather. Until date, he still appears. More especially when I have difficult cases that involves that is cases that are a matter of life and death. That is when he will appear. It's either he will tell me what to do to solve that problem, or he will tell me that he will be the one to do it. And in whichever way, that case must be solved. So I know that a lot of us, we see our grandparents in our dreams. Some of us who are gifted, without knowing that you are gifted, you can see them as a person. And you think your eyes is playing tricks on you, or you think your mind is playing tricks on you. But you know what you saw. You think you can tell somebody, I saw somebody that just passed, looks as if it's my grandfather. Whatsoever you see, immediately, the first thing that comes to your mind is exactly that thing that you saw. So many of us who see them. Yes, I know a lot are so scared to see them. If you are too scared to see them, it is not a problem. Yes, even I myself, when I first started seeing them, I was so scared that I had to pray and beg God to make them stop coming, that I do not want to be seeing them anymore. And at that time, that prayer was answered, and God held everything, and everything stopped. I stopped seeing them. Probably God stopped everything for me to gain more courage, for me to have enough courage to continue with my calling. And so right now that I know that I have gained that courage, that I can see whatever I want to see, or anything that comes to me without shouting, without running away, now that I have that courage, they have all started again. They have all started appearing. They have all started coming to me. Not just those that I know, but those that I do not know. And like I've said before, if you are gifted to see them, in that their spirit world, they know who you are. Just like the demons, just like the agents of darkness know who you are. Those in that spirit world equally knows you. They know who you are. They know you have that gift. And so you are their link, the channel for them to pass through, the channel for them to deliver messages. Just like when people always say that there is a star on your face, it is not a physical star. It's a spiritual star. That star is there for both good and bad to recognize you. That star is there for the heavenly beings to recognize you as a chosen one. That star is there for those in the spirit world to recognize you that you are a chosen one. That star is there for the demons to recognize you that you are a chosen one. Now, I want to clarify this. Whenever we talk about chosen one, people always believe that the chosen ones are the innocent ones, are the holy ones. It's not true. That you are chosen by God doesn't mean that you are holy. I myself, I know who I am, and I know what I can do. Up till now, it's still like, is sometimes I will be asking myself, does God know what he's doing by calling me? Does he know? Because there is a particular lifestyle that I want to live. I've said this before. What I am doing now is not me. It is not my life. It has never been me. It is just like I am being forced into this body. And it's not something I can run away from. No, I can't. Because if you try to deviate, your punishment will be greater than that of somebody else who doesn't even know God. Your punishment will be greater. So when these gifts are being given to us, you do not have any choice. Some of us sees these gifts so early in life, right from childhood. People like me, we notice ours when we are already adults. Even though when you recall right from childhood, because when I recall right from childhood, when I mean childhood, I mean primary school. That was when I started seeing spirits. And I remember the day I told my parents, I told my brothers and sisters of what I saw. You know, African home. They flogged the living daylight out of me. But they flogged me so much that I had to shut my mouth. And that was how I started concealing everything. I no longer talk. Whenever I see anything, I won't talk. I will keep my mouth shut. Because when I remember how they flogged me, it was so painful and I don't want to experience that anymore. But then, I never knew that I had that gift. I never knew that I had that calling. But I started seeing spirits the much I can remember from when I was in primary three, if I can remember correctly. From when I was in primary three, that was when I started seeing spirits. But because of the treatment I received from my family, I decided to shut my mouth up. So whenever I see anything, I'll bottle it up in me. But then it didn't stop. It continued from primary to secondary to university and up till now. And it is now that I realize that this is a gift that I cannot run away from. And I decided to make use of my gift. So I told us that I'm going to come tonight to talk to us about spirits. I've seen a lot of arguments. A lot of arguments. Before you know it, people will quote Bible for you, forgetting that that same Bible didn't record everything that happened as at the time that the Bible was recorded. Everything that happened wasn't recorded in the Bible. And I kept on asking myself, so what happens to all these our gifts? These are the gifts, the supernatural gifts that God has given to his people. So what are people trying to tell me? That the gift that God has given me to see beyond these human eyes, that the gift is not good. No, it is a wonderful gift. A very lovely gift. Yes, it comes with its own pains and troubles and problems. But then, that God that gave you that gift, when you fall into that temptation, into that trouble, it is through that your gift that you can be set free, as long as you have started making use of it. So we have spirits everywhere around us. And I want to tell us this. You see this gift, when you have this gift, if you are somebody who is spiritually gifted and you have this gift, before you pass away, your child, one of your child will have that gift. You can even see it as your children are growing. You will know the ones that have that gift. Yes, it runs like, it is just like from generation to generation. That's how it runs. Because I thought I was the first person to have the gift in my family until I started hearing stories about my great grandparents. That my great grandfather was a very powerful native doctor that heals with roots and herbs. He was well known with roots and herbs. And that gift is still passing over. That gift came to me. That gift came to my sister, my elder sister. And through me, that gift has passed through my children. At least two of my children. Two of my children do see every now and then. Most of the times the things they see are the things that I myself can see. Sometimes they will tell me, I saw this being. This being told me this being told me that. But maybe the being didn't come to me. That's how it runs. It runs in the family. You cannot tell any of my child right now that spirits do not exist and they believe you. No, you cannot tell them because they see them. But they are not like me. Growing up, I was so scared about all these things, but they are growing up with this courage that I do not know where they got it from. That they can see all these things without shaking, without no fear. They won't even tell me immediately that they saw that thing. Maybe some days after, they will tell me that this being entered into their room, or that they saw this being pass, or this being told them that. So if this gift is not real, then I don't know what people are saying anymore. Because a lot of people argue that there is nothing like spirits. But I'm still telling you that spirits exist and they operate the way we do. You can't tell me that everybody you meet in the market, that everybody in the market is a human being. It's not possible. You can't tell me that everybody you meet along the road is a human being. It's not possible. But when you are spiritually gifted and you come in contact with those who are ghosts, you will know. When you are walking along the road, of course, you'll be passing through a lot of people, and everything is normal. But when you pass someone or a being who is not a human being, but you know that you saw a human being, but that being is a ghost. When you pass through that being, I'm going to tell you the feelings you will get. When you pass through such beings, at first you will feel too cold, very cold. It will look as if somebody opened a freezer, and then the cold from that freezer is coming towards your body. That is the feeling you get. The next feeling you will get is goosebumps all over your body. It doesn't happen when you pass through your normal human being. It doesn't happen. But whenever you pass through a ghost, that is the feeling you will get. Feeling that this cold, it looks as if the weather is too cold. You will feel so cold. And then the next thing is the goosebumps. And the next thing is, looks as if the hairs on your head, on your neck, are all standing up. Your head will swell up. These are the feelings you get when you come in contact with spirits. Whenever you come in contact with spirits, these are the feelings you get. And let me tell us, because for those who are still arguing, I know after giving us this teaching, because this is what I experience every now and then, but I cannot run away from it. After giving us this teaching, it always happens. Tonight, they must surely come. Either the good ones or the bad ones. When the bad ones comes, they are coming to attack me. Yes, because the bad ones don't want us to expose them. They don't want us to talk about how they live and how they operate and everything. So after tonight's teaching, I always experience this. Either of these beings will come, either the good ones or the bad ones. The bad ones are always there to attack, to fight. The good ones is either to send a message, that's it. But I already know how to handle such. So there's no point being scared, because I can't continue being scared. I do not know how long I have here to live on earth. So if I continue to be scared, that means I'm going to be scared for the rest of my life. It's not possible. So I don't have any choice but to put up that courage to face them, because I need to know more about them. I need to know more about them to know enough to teach people. Okay? So if you have any question to ask me, you write down your question on this teaching or on any other issue that has to do with spirituality. If there is anything bothering you that has to do with spiritual issues, write down your question. If you have any question to ask me based on this teaching, write down your questions. Okay, now we hear you have a question. Go ahead and ask. Ejima, good evening. You are welcome. Now we hear, write down your question. Please endeavor to share this live for me, please. Share this live for me. A tap on your share button. Share this live. Okay? Double tap your screen to like, please. If you really like this page or you love this teaching or any of my teachings so far, please double tap your screen to like. So I'm still waiting for your questions if you have any. I'm not going to waste time tonight, okay? Because just now that I've given this teaching, like I told us, I will need to get myself ready, get myself prepared before going to bed, okay? So I won't want to waste time so that I will do everything on time. So I'm still waiting for your questions. If you have any, write down your questions. Help me to share this live and double tap your screen to like. Double tap your screen to like. Wisdom, good evening. You are welcome. Now, when you dream and you see an old woman naked and eating, now your dream is signifying that you are being monitored. That is kind of a witchcraft attack. You are being monitored. Seeing an old woman naked in your dream, you are being monitored. So check your environment, check your friends, check those around you, check those whom you talk to, the people that knows you too well, the people that knows where you lay your head, those you reveal your secrets to. Check yourself. You are being monitored. So bring up your questions. I'm waiting for your questions. Bring up your questions. Bring up your questions. Please help me to share this live. Please, I'm begging you. Share this live for me and double tap your screen to like. Tiago, yes, I'm available on WhatsApp. So bring up your questions. Do you have any question about your spiritual matter? Write it down. Write it down. Please, for clarification, I want to clarify something. I know I always say this whenever I come up live. Please, somebody will come up now to ask me, how will my future be? Please, I don't see the future. I don't know how your future will be. If I want to know anything about you, I will ask questions about you. I will ask God questions. If it pleases God to tell me about you, He will tell me. If it pleases Him to tell me how your future will be, He will tell me. But for me to sit down here and tell you that your future is bright or that your future is dark, I don't do that. At all, I don't do that. Is not my gift. It's not part of my gift. I get to know whatever I get to know when I ask God. Okay? Or except He wants me to know, He will show me without me asking. Lovely. Of course, the gift, the dream is self-explanatory. Seeing someone being chained on two legs is bondage. The person is under bondage. That is the meaning of your dream. It's self-explanatory. You don't need any soothsayer to tell you the meaning. You already know the meaning. That person is under bondage. Under bondage. And actually needs a spiritual help. King Cross, thank you so much. Bring up your questions, please. Bring up your questions if you have any. Bring up your questions if you have any. Okay, thank you, lovely. So you will have to know what to do. That person who is on chains. Okay, guys, the topic for today, which I told us last night, is mainly on spirits. On spirits. On spirits. Do we have spirits around us? Do they exist? Is there anything like spirit world? This is what we talked about tonight. So bring up your questions if you have any. Write down your questions. I'm still waiting for your questions. Like I told us, I'm not going to waste time tonight. Okay? I need to prepare myself because of this tonight's teaching. I need to prepare myself going to bed, because I know that the moment I just, even before I'm about to lie down, you will start seeing them coming. King Cross, I don't really understand what you wrote. You said, why is it that when someone was, when we, whenever, no, um, write it, rewrite this, okay? I don't understand it. Whenever I am praying, Jane got Adam for me. Rewrite your question. I don't understand it. Wisdom, you dreamt about removing money in ground. That is, the money is on the ground and you are removing it from the ground. Is that what you mean? If this is what you mean, the meaning of your dream is you will have to work hard. You will work hard for you to earn whatever you want to earn. For you to, whatever you want in life, you will work hard for it. That is the meaning of your dream. Whatever you want to be in life, whatever you want to do in life, you will work hard for it. Lovely. Okay, you say, can I bring you up? You know, actually, I do not know how to bring people up. I'm so sorry. I'm not so used to this app. I don't know how to bring people up. Maybe I'll learn it or somebody needs to teach me. I don't know how to do that, but I don't know. So please write down your questions. Okay, you can send your request. Send your request. Amigo, if you do not remember your dreams, pray very well before you go to bed. Pray. Pray. There is nothing greater than prayer. Pray. Prayer remains the ultimate. Pray. And do not go to bed when you are too weak. Try and go to bed when you are just okay, not too tired. Okay? Now, I didn't see your question. I did not see your question. Okay, so you can write that question again. Write it down again. I didn't see it. Now, when you write down your question again, I didn't see it. Thank you, wisdom. Write down your question. Okay, lovely. You said you sent a request. I didn't see anything. I told you I don't know how to use this app. I don't know how to use every feature in this app. I will have to need somebody to teach me that thing. Teach me, how to use this app very well, to bring people up. I do not know it, okay? I'm so sorry. I didn't see any request. I don't know how to operate it. But you can write down your question, okay? Lovely. Write down your question. Write down your questions. I'm still waiting for your questions, please. I have 8 minutes left. Chidima, good evening. You are welcome. I have 8 minutes left. Write down your question. Goals. Whenever you lend money to people that will not pay you back, first of all, that is human for you. That is how people behave. Normally, that is how people behave. It's quite unfortunate you are meeting the wrong people, the wrong set of people. When you lend money to them, they will no longer want to pay you back. It's quite unfortunate. But if it keeps on repeating, then you will have to pray over this. Yes, so that it will not be the spirit of setback. You will have to pray over it. Okay, and before you lend money to people, from now, before you lend money to people, try as much as possible to table the matter before God. If you can write down the name of that person, use the name of that person to pray. Tell God that you're about to lend money to that person. Let God be the witness. So that when the person tries to run away, it is only God that will bring the person back. However God wants to bring the person back, it's no longer your business. Before you give out your money, whether you are giving out cash, whether you are transferring, whether you are writing down a check, make sure you use the name of that person to pray. And make sure you voice it out. Should the person disappoint you, refuses to pay, you voice out what you want. But for those who do not want to pay you back your money, for those who do not want to pay you back your money, go to my page. There is a teaching I gave about what you can do to call up the person's spirit. When someone is owing you, that person must pay you. And if the person refuses to pay you, you call up that person's spirit. The flesh is too wicked. So you don't deal with the flesh when it gets to that stage. You deal with the spirit. You call up that spirit. You summon that person's spirit. And then you command the spirit. Because whatsoever command you give to the spirit, that is what the spirit will carry out. And I'm telling you that in no distant time, you see the person paying you. A lot of people have practiced this teaching that I gave, and they got their money back. Even a little girl equally practiced it, and she got her money back. Okay? So go to my page. There is a teaching I gave about when people are owing you, what you need to do. That spiritual exercise is what you're supposed to do by 12 midnight. No other time. By 12 midnight. But it's not something I will start explaining here because, it will take my time. So go to my page and check for that video and practice it. Your money must surely get back to you. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm still waiting for your questions. I'm still waiting for your questions. I have 5 minutes left. Bring up your questions. Yes, I saw somebody requesting for me to, I saw a request, but that was when I was giving girls instructions on what to do. So I don't know who the person is. I saw something like Oba. Oba, please, you can, okay, do whatever you did before. I think you wanted to come up live, okay, so that I will accept. Girls, you are welcome. I don't know what is happening now. All the same, I want to thank everybody so much for joining. I want to thank you all for joining. Thank you all for your time. Thank you all for your patience. Thank you all, especially those who ask questions. Thank you. I know a lot of people actually learned from this. Thank you. For those who liked this live, God bless you so much. And for those who shared it, thank you so much. God bless you. For my gifters, thank you so much. God bless you. And I pray that we're going to meet again. This time around, not tomorrow night, because I will be more than busy tomorrow. But by the special grace of God, on Friday night, we are going to meet on Friday night, okay? So until then, it is good night and God bless.